All right, guys, we are here live. Facebook's doing its spinny thing, so I hope I'm live. I'm crossing my fingers I'm live. Okay, we are officially live in the day 2 of the Scale to 6 workshop, where I'm sharing with you how to create your blueprint for your first or next Blockbuster one-to-many offer. So join in with me. Let me know that you are Team Live or Team Replay with hashtag Team Live or Team Replay. So I know that you are here. Sometimes I don't get to know who's here with me, and I like to make it a little less awkward. So as you're hopping on, say hi. Let me know that you are here and on Team Live or on Team Replay. Hi, Zeldy. Your success advisors will be tagging you in this morning's, and I guess a lot of you are not in the morning time, but in this morning's training where we're going to be talking about your Blockbuster niche solution. Loving this topic. It's one of my favorite. It's one of the ones where so many people go wrong. So I'm going to make sure that you do not make the same mistakes as so many people. So I'm seeing Carla's here, Sierra's here, Zeldy's here. And before we jump in and get started, reminders. Remember I told you, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to put you in a space of growth rather than you just continuing doing the same things. A lot of you made a commitment to doing the pre-trainings. A lot of you did not stick to that commitment of completing those pre-trainings, okay? So give me a hands up if you're one of those people who's fallen a little bit behind, needs a little extra support so that your success advisor can reach out to you and make sure you have everything you need to complete the pre-trainings, that you have the workshop, that you've gotten through day 1's training. Just give me a hands up if you need some support. Drop it in the comments and let us know. Because remember, I'm treating this workshop like I treat my programs, which means I want to give you the full support you need to actually complete the change that you've wanted to create for so long. I do not want this to be another workshop you signed up for and didn't get through, didn't get the value out of, because it's just not what I'm all about, okay? And if you're on top of it and getting your stuff done, give me a thumbs up in the comments so I can cheer you on and say, hey, good job, let's keep it moving. Today, we're talking about the Blockbuster niche solution. I'm giving it a little time for Facebook to show my face to all the people, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. You will need your workbook here. As a reminder, this is a fillable PDF, so you don't even have to print it out. I print it out literally just to show it to you guys, but you will need this in order to complete today's training and tomorrow's training as well, and yesterday's, so all the trainings, okay? So just like we did yesterday, I like to start with something a little bit fun. So today, we're gonna do it by sharing one interesting fact about you. My interesting fact is that I own over 24 hoodies and sweaters, such as this, because I'm a hoodie fanatic. So tell me one fun fact about you so that I know I'm not alone in my little bit of crazy. And I'm gonna open a separate window because I'm not seeing any comments, and I know you guys are here, and I wanna make sure I'm not missing them and talking to myself. So give me just a minute while we do this. I'm trying to catch up with tech sometimes, guys. Okay, PDF is awesome, yay. I wanna make sure I'm not missing any comments. Cool, cool, cool. Either of you guys aren't commenting and you're super quiet. So I wanna make sure, remember, you get the most out of this when you guys engage in this. Treat it like it's an actual full-blown training that you took part of, like you paid for this, okay? That's what we're gonna try and say. 24 chickens, Carla. Oh my gosh, no, we have 6 chickens, and I feel like that's more than enough, okay? But tell me one fun fact about you as you join. My fun fact was that I own over 24 hoodies. I can live in hoodies, and I live in Southern California where it doesn't even get that cold, so it's a little bit of a bummer, but oh, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it to talk about our Blockbuster niche solution, why I talk about this, why this is so important. But before we jump into it, I wanna do a super quick mindset exercise, because the truth of the matter is we can't build strategy, we can't build a business if we do not have our mindset set up straight. So I'm gonna do what I do with all my clients, which is tell you to remove all your expectations, okay? When we get started in business, we create all these expectations around what we think things have to happen or how things need to look, all of these crazy things, okay? And it is actually the reason that we get held back for so long. We create what I call the sorry, I'm losing my track. We create all of these rules that are working against us. We create these conditions to our growth. I say these are the ifs and whens of our business. If I get to this, when I get here, then I'll create these opportunities, right? And these are the things that kept me stuck for so long. I told myself, if I had more time, I would be more successful. When I make 10K, I'll hire this person, right? The ifs and whens in our business. We create these ifs and whens in our business because they're a key to holding us back. We don't do it consciously, we do it subconsciously, not knowing that if we do not have rules that we've had for so long, we feel a little naked. So if you've told yourself, I'm not ready, I'm not qualified, right now's not the right time, I don't have the right tools, blah, 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 it's all BS. It's all utter and complete BS, and they're all excuses. So earlier today in the group, I literally asked you guys, are you making moves or are you making excuses? Okay? And I know that's a tough pill to swallow, but it's true. At any given time in your business, you're going to either be making excuses or making moves. So I want you guys to tell me right now in your business, if we're being totally honest, we're removing that veil of what we hide behind. I want to know, are you making moves or are you making excuses right now? Because remember, the weight of you taking all of these growth conditions on yourself, it's heavy and it's gonna keep you stuck for a really long time. And I don't know about you, but I'm on a mission to help women change that game, change these conditions that we've had placed on us for so long. I don't want you to have that weight on you anymore. That weight is taking up too much space, too much energy that's meant for more, because you are meant for more. You are meant to make massive shifts in people's lives. This isn't just a journey, it's your journey. So I want you to remember these things, okay? Give me an amen if you're keeping up with me, if you're hearing me here. You're actually letting these things sink in to your little brains right now and thinking to yourself, I am ready. I am ready to make moves. I am tired of sitting on the sidelines. I'm tired of making excuses. I'm tired of having these growth conditions that have held me back in my life and in my business, okay? Good, I'm seeing moves. I wanna see you guys making more moves in your life and in your business, okay? So remember, it's not just a journey, this is your journey. And it's very, very important for you guys to recognize your journey is yours and yours alone. We're gonna remove all those fears. We're gonna let those fears be what we call just noise. They're gonna fall to the background. I want you to remind yourself that you hold the power to your success and only you hold that power. I'm giving you tools, but you ultimately make the decisions that allow you to accomplish your goals. Okay? So it's time to quiet all that noise that's been making noise in your brain for so long, right? Like drop a long if you've been doing that for a while, because I've been doing it for a really long time. And I want you to take a minute today. And if you did the pre-trainings, there's a reason why I have you guys do this, because we're like step by step, this is gonna get a little harder and you're gonna have some more mindset issues that come up. And I'd like to be clear about that. That's why we started with the pre-training being a mindset training, because I want you to take a minute today and I want you to look at that sheet of paper from your day one pre-training. And I want you to remind yourself, I want you to look at the fear that you wrote down, the things that you've been letting fester, letting take over, letting you deal with those. I want you to look it in the face and I want you to really quickly flip over that piece of paper and say it out loud, or in your head if you feel super awkward and weird, that you are meant for more. You are meant to make massive change and shifts in people's lives, and that doesn't happen unless you break out of those fears, okay? You're here to change lives in your own way. You with me? You with me on changing lives? Drop lives or change in the comments. I want you guys super active in recognizing the changes here, okay? I want to tell you real quick, because we have so many new faces from yesterday. I'm going to tell you a quick story about who I am and what I'm all about. You guys all know I'm a business growth strategist, but what you may not know is that I spent 18 years in the marketing game, okay? 10 years ago, I walked away from a very successful career, six-figure career in marketing, where I managed million-dollar budgets, and I was miserable. I used to make those make or break business decisions in marketing for huge billion-dollar corporations. And then my first baby was born, who is now almost 10 years old. And it was like my life began and ended all in one section. I felt like the things I had worked so hard to build suddenly didn't matter. I had this whole other idea of what my life needed to look like. And it was all in that one single moment of seeing my baby, which, by the way, she's in the same room, so she's hearing me tell you this story. But it all happened. It all changed when you have this moment that washes over you. Whether you have kids or not, you recognize that something's ready to change. That was me. But I used to fold under pressure. I used to make excuses why I wasn't ready. So the first few years in my business were not easy, guys. They were not easy at all. But I also had made this conscious decision to leave a career in marketing that I had grown so much in because I wanted more. So drop more in the comments because I want you guys to start recognizing the more that you want in your lives. Your story might look like mine and it might look totally different than mine, but we've all had a moment where everything changed, where we made a decision consciously within ourselves that we were ready for more. That moment might have been you signing up for this workshop. I don't know. But we've all had that moment. I want you to kind of go back to that moment. So drop a more if you can, like, take yourself back to that moment where you decided you wanted more in your life. Okay? Because I'm going to hit you with a super strategic fact that I need you to hear. Female business owners, the small portion of us that are female business owners that are left, okay, they generate 90% of female-based business owners only make $100,000 or less every single year. That means only 10% of female-owned businesses make over $100,000 a year. Now, whether you're in this for the money or not doesn't really matter. I didn't get started in my business for money, but I want to hit you with that statistic because I am tired of seeing women struggle. I'm tired of us not having a plan to strategically grow our businesses and maybe grow our babies at the same time. I want you to learn to create a business that thrives on your terms, okay? I want you to recognize that everything changes when you make a decision for change. So now that we've accomplished that, we've kind of taken ourselves back to that moment of more and we're recognizing that we are ready to make moves and we're tired of making excuses. I want to get started. Okay, so first, as we're getting started, this was part of your homework, but I'm going to make you repeat it just because I want to know where you guys are at all in one place. Share with me which one-to-many offer you're planning on focusing on first. Is this a membership, a group program, or a hybrid course? Drop it in the comments for me. I love this. I'm loving you guys dropping in with mores and all that fun stuff, okay? Drop in the comments what you guys want to create, okay? Because here's the deal when it comes to creating a blockbuster niche solution to people's program. We need to create a program that people want, okay? A program that has them running to you, whipping out their credit cards and saying, oh my gosh, take my money, I need this. Doesn't that sound incredible? All right, I'm seeing some memberships, hybrid, group program, loving it. All over the place. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. We want to create, sorry, let me turn off my sound on my phone. We want to create an offer that has people running to you saying, take my money, I need this. Drop want if that's what you're looking for. If you're excited to serve those people who are so excited about working with you, that they're ready. They're saying, oh my gosh, yes, please, I want this. This sounds incredible. You spoke my language, all that stuff, right? Because that's what sounds good to us. That when we create an offer that people really want. Now, the truth of the matter is you want a blockbuster hit, right? You can have a blockbuster hit straight from the start, but it does require very specific things. That's why your handy dandy little workbook is going to help you get there. You want a blockbuster hit that is filled with that red carpet of people who are begging to get in. I better see more wants, because if you guys aren't dropping wants, you're in the wrong place if you don't want a blockbuster hit that grabs people's attention and has them wanting more. Okay? We want the offer that's going to be what everyone's talking about. They're begging for. They can't wait to share it with their friends. They can't wait to give more people insight into this because they see the value in what you offer. Isn't that what we're all out for? That we want to create offers that have people saying, oh my gosh, yes, and screaming it from the rooftops, right? Like our own little tribe of marketers who are helping us. Yes, AC says want. That's what I want to hear, guys, right? The one that nobody stops talking about. The one that stays on people's minds and it creates that legacy that you've dreamt of. Because remember, it's not just about creating a course, creating a group program or a membership. It's about creating a legacy. It's about creating something that you stand for and that you create that stands for you and your message, okay? So if you ever wonder to yourself why some people seem to create these beautiful, flawless courses, programs, or whatever that people just gobble up. Meanwhile, maybe you're sitting there on the sidelines and the thought of that in your head, but you're wondering, is anyone going to even purchase? Let's be real with ourselves. Have any of you guys had that fear trickle into your head? That, oh my gosh, Naz, what if I build it and nobody shows up? Nobody purchases it and it's a total flop. I want to hear from you because I totally 100% get this. Nobody wants to create something that just gets crickets. It's the worst feeling in the world. And the truth of the matter is, I know this so well because that was me. My first course I was so excited about. I created everything. I literally locked myself in a room on the weekends when my kids had fallen asleep and recorded this entire course. I was so proud and so excited, and I thought everyone's gonna buy my course. It's gonna be the best thing ever. Guys, one person bought it. One person bought it, and I don't even think they completed it. I felt like I was a total failure. So tell me if you've ever felt like a failure, like, oh my gosh, or maybe you thought that maybe you're gonna be a failure. Because that was me. I failed miserably at my first course. It was the worst thing ever. Now, what went wrong in that course? Because I like to be totally honest about what happens. I focused on too many things because I thought, let me give them everything. The problem was, just like the jack of all trades, I didn't have a focus, which meant people were confused by what value they were going to get out of the course. So they didn't even bother purchasing it. It was too confusing for them. Good. Yeah, we don't want to think that way. I just want you to recognize that we all have these fears that are sitting in the back of our heads. When we create a solution that's too broad, that solves too big of a problem with a one-to-many offer, it freaks people out. So let's talk about what is a blockbuster niche solution. What does that mean for us, okay? It's gotta be something that makes life easier, okay? So in your first question, a blockbuster offer is something that makes life easier on them and it helps them create a shortcut to a true transformation, okay? So I'm gonna repeat that. A blockbuster offer is something that makes life easier for them and provides them with a shortcut to a true transformation. Okay? Now let's talk about what happens next. It needs to be something you see people regularly struggling with. If you are creating an offer that nobody's struggling with, you're wasting time and energy and money on stuff. We want to create a solution to a problem people are aware of having. They are tired of it. They're complaining about it. It's being talked about. Cell 1, cell 4, same situation, but it's perseverance as well. It is. It absolutely is, okay? It is perseverance. It's sticking to the goals. It's knowing that we're moving towards that. It absolutely 100% is, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Great topic to bring up, Ashni. But it's got to be something that's going to make their life easier, and it's something that they struggle regularly with. So take a minute and think about it. The course topic that you're thinking about creating, is this something you see people struggling with regularly? Like they're talking about it. They're frustrated by it. They're like, oh my gosh, if I could only do this, my life would be better. They don't have to say it in the exact words, but they need to be saying it. Example, you're all here because the problem that you have, the problem you're talking about, is that you want to grow and scale a business without trading time for money. You may not have said those in those exact specific words, but you've complained about that problem and it's been complained about regularly, okay? So drop a heart if you guys are understanding that the problem needs to be something people are regularly struggling with. Now, how do we know whether or not they're regularly struggling with it? We pay attention to our audience. We do some social listening. We go into groups and we ask questions, but we need to be aware that this is a problem that people are regularly struggling with. Something that people are running to because guess what? They're ready for the solution. If we do not create an offer that solves a problem that people are frustrated with, it's not going to be a blockbuster. We're going to spend all our time, effort, and energy on trying to get them to see it as a problem. And I don't know about you, but I don't like talking people into me. It's not a good feeling for any of us, right? We want something that people are running to. Okay? Give me an amen or a hands up if you want something that people come running to. I want to make sure you guys are getting what I'm putting down, okay? Because what we're going to end up doing is creating a preview that matches that featured film. So what you're going to see is on your questions, we have this whole breakdown of what you're an expert on in a topic. The more authority you've built on this topic, the more confident you feel in what you're doing, the more you're going to be able to attract people in and actually create a blockbuster hit. Whereas if we're bringing something in to people where we feel like we're just talking them into it constantly, we're going to be so frustrated. So you can look at what process or framework do you currently use with your one-on-one or done for you clients that gets results. What's something that you've seen in play? That's one of the ways you can kind of take a look at it and extract where those opportunities are. Now, if you're looking to create a course that's not on a topic that you've actually worked one-on-one, that's okay too. But it's a topic that you feel like people consistently come to you for. So if you find that people are coming to you and asking the same questions over and over again, this is a great way for us to recognize where our opportunities are. Okay? So I like to say, what has been working for your clients, or what has been working for the people who have come to you? What do you do to help them get results? We want to visualize this roadmap for them that illustrates the steps, helps us really create this framework for results. Okay, so drop framework. I want you guys to realize it's a huge important piece of building a blockbuster topic solution. We want something that's going to have a framework for success. I'm going to let you guys catch up for a second. I'm going to give you a quick reminder. If you've forgotten, I have a limited number of pathway calls. These are for those who are ready to start building a scalable business model that incorporates one-to-many offers. If you are seeing all the incredible stuff we're doing and you're like, I want more, I want to learn actually how to create a one-to-many offer that people gobble up and are excited to work with me, I want you to drop pathway call into the comments. We have a limited number of pathway calls, and on this call, what we're going to do is look at your business. We're going to look at your opportunities, and I'm going to share with you how a one-to-many offer fits into your business to create a scalable business model. I'll share with you exactly what it looks like for me to help you create that pathway so that you're not trying to figure out all these pieces and making all of these piece-by-piece solutions that don't fit together. Okay, so at any time during this process that you are ready, you've decided today, I'm ready to make moves and stop making excuses, I want you to drop pathway call in the comments, because I want you to be ready to take your business to the next level. And that's exactly what I'm going to help you learn to do. Okay, so I want you to now start thinking about, when we're looking at what am I an expert? Okay, so that's one of the questions on here. What am I an expert on? Yes, find the opportunities in your one-on-ones. Exactly. Here's some ways for you to discover what you're an expert on. What topic do I get asked about all the time? What kind of questions do I get asked about all the time? What topic do I find myself gravitating towards and talking about with customers or potential customers, and they always want to pick my brain about it? These are things that you have an authority on. Hey, Sally, I'm excited to chat with you. What course topics are being taught successfully by someone else, but you know that you could teach them in a way that actually gets people results? These are the questions I want you to start thinking about. So I'm going to repeat them back to you. Number one, what kind of questions do I get asked all the time? What topics am I talking about with my customers or being asked to pick my brain about consistently? What course topics are being taught by others successfully, but I feel like they're missing something? They have a missing piece that you need for your business. Okay? Because we want to create a solution that is very specific. Okay? So I want to talk to you about what this looks like. We want to create what's called a big promise. What's the big promise that we're going to say to people? So drop big promise so that I know you guys are keeping up with me. What's the big promise that we're going to give to people about what they're directly going to get to walk away with your program? And don't worry, I'm going to give specific examples of what this looks like, but I just want to give you the breakdown of how this looks. Okay? So we want to give them a big promise. I want you guys to start thinking about what your offer, the big promise that your offer is going to give. the big promise. The big promise your offer is going to give to people. That thing they're going to actually walk away with. So we can't say to someone, oh, I'm going to teach you marketing. That's not a big promise. That's a promise I can't deliver on, right? I want to say something very specific. So it's not about giving tons of stuff. That's way too overwhelming for people. We want to get really specific. Some people create these programs and memberships that sell like hotcakes and some don't. The secret is to creating something that's very specific with the problem that you're solving, because people need to believe and trust that your solution will work for them. But if I say, I'm going to teach you marketing in 90 days, you're going to be like, how the heck could you teach me marketing in 90 days? That's not possible, right? So I need to get more specific. I need to actually give you less, but I need to be very specific in the promise that I give you. So I want you to think about a specific topic that you can give to them. Drop specific in the comments. And if you can't drop specific because you're on your phone, just drop a heart or any type of emoji, because I want you guys to recognize your topic needs to be very specific. Like I said, I'm going to get more specific in how this looks. One example is I could either say, learn to market your business, not specific, not a Blockbuster, okay? Or I can say, learn how to market your business on social media in an hour a day. Which one's more attractive to you? The very broad range, learn how to market your business. Okay, I'm not 100% sure what I'm walking away with. I don't know what I'm gonna get out of this. It leaves me wanting more and wondering what's going on. Versus if I said to you, learn how to market your business on social media, and I could even get more specific, learn how to market your business using Facebook groups in only an hour a day. You're like, boom, yes, I want that, because I'm highly targeted and highly specific in the big promise you're gonna walk away with, okay? Drop yes if you guys understand that we wanna get really specific with our course topic and that you're seeing the difference. Do you want option number 1, which is just learn how to market your business? Or would you want option number 2, that's learn how to market your business using Facebook groups in only an hour a day? You guys tell me, option 1 or option 2? Which one would draw you in more? So that's number 1 when it comes to the Blockbuster test. Is it specific? Is it something that someone could say, oh my gosh, yes, I need this? Because no one's gonna say, oh, I wanna learn how to market my business with this like super broad range thing. They want to say, oh my gosh, yes, this seems like something I could accomplish. I want this. I want to learn how to market my business with Facebook groups in an hour a day. Holy moly, that's like tangible in my hands. I want to eat it. I want to have that. I want that now, right? You're all saying option 2. You see that? You see how simple that shift is, but it's specific enough that it's making it, oh my gosh, I want that. Okay? So we want to get specific with our topics. So the next thing that you need for your Blockbuster solution is it solving an immediate problem? Okay? Immediate problem being the key piece there, right? We want to fix people's immediate problem, because if I say to you, I'll solve a problem that's 2 steps out from where you are not going to be interested. You want immediate gratification. You want a solution to the right now problem you have. So drop right now. I want you guys to recognize it needs to be a solution to a right now problem. Okay? I see so many people not solving that right now problem. They're not giving them that immediate gratification to something they're struggling with, and then they're wondering why it's not a Blockbuster, why no one's purchasing, why they're feeling frustrated by the lack of people who want what they have. We're not solving a right now problem. A lot of my clients come to me saying, I'm not getting people to sign up. And we look at it and we say, is it specific? Is it solving an immediate problem? And if you don't know how to do this, this is literally the first step of what we do inside my program. I show you how to find something that's specific and juicy, but also solves this immediate problem so that someone says, oh my gosh, I need this right now. I want to super duper fix this. Yes, be the aspirin, not the vitamin. You're so right, Carla. We want to fix that right now problem, okay? Number 3 for our Blockbuster hit test. Focus on the things that make you feel like the smartest person in the room, okay? We need to make sure we're solving a problem that makes you feel like the smartest person in the room. I was having a conversation with someone who's actually in this workshop, and we had this conversation. I said, what's something you're passionate about but feel like the smartest person in the room? Guess what? It wasn't the thing that she does for a living. It was something else. It was something else that she was so passionate about that she felt like she spent all her time researching and getting excited about. Because guess what? People buy from your confidence. They're not buying just based on, oh, she's just solving a solution. She's creating a solution to my problems. They're buying into your confidence. And your confidence can't be manufactured. Okay? We're not manufacturing confidence here. We're giving you the confidence in something you have. Someone told me today, oh my gosh, I can tell how much you love what you do. It just like oozes out of you. Because I'm not selling something that I don't feel good about. I'm selling things that make me want to like jump up and down and shout. So drop jump or shout if you are ready to create a solution that makes you feel so amped and so confident and like the smartest person in the room. Because oftentimes the solution we're creating in a Blockbuster hit is something that feels too easy for you. Seems like, oh my gosh, no one's gonna pay me for this. There's no way. But it's usually the most difficult thing for other people. Okay? So I want you guys to be clear. It's the thing that we are the smartest person in the room. We feel super overly confident about. It's oozing out of us that we feel so excited about this topic. Like you see me, so excited about this topic, right? Next, we need to make sure that it can be easily taught. So if we're looking at it, it's something that we can create steps to. I like to say, if I were to say, can you teach this? I want you to be able to take it apart and say, okay, here's the steps that we would create. It's actually the very first thing we do in my program is I help you take your process and actually create a system out of it. Now, the key to having a system is that not only does it attract people to it because now you can clearly share that with people, but it also produces better results for your clients. We all want to create better results, right? Like hands up if you want to create better results for your clients. You're not just in this to make a course that makes tons of money, which of course we love. We actually want to get better results for our clients. Then we need to be able to break this down into steps. Okay? Because we want them to be able to actually take that and apply it. Are you guys getting what I'm putting down here? Is everything making sense up until this point? I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. You guys are understanding where we're getting, and I'm going to break down examples of how to get specific. Now, the first thing that you're going to do, and this isn't on your homework, you're just going to see that I'm letting you know what you want to do, because it can be really overwhelming trying to come up with a topic, and I promised you that you would walk away with 4 days with an actual topic. You're going to sit down and you're going to write every idea you've ever had for a course membership or group program. Nothing's off the table, okay? I want you to be super open about this. No judging your ideas. This is meant for you to have a brain dump of ideas and thoughts and processes, anything that you've ever thought about. So even if like I'm in marketing and business strategy, but I've thought about teaching how to write calligraphy, which is totally not something, or how to coach soccer, it doesn't matter. I want you to create a brain dump of ideas where you can look at it and say, here's all the things I feel really confident about, that I feel like I could teach with ease, that I feel like is meant for the world. And don't worry if it passes the Blockbuster test or not. I want you to start with a huge brain dump of ideas, okay? Drop ideas in the comment, because I want to make sure that you guys realize we're trying to capture all of our ideas in one space. This is really important for multiple reasons. Not just so you have a bank of ideas, but also so that you get it all off of your mind. I see a lot of people struggle with squirrel brain, jumping from one idea to the next idea, because they've never actually put it pen to paper and actually like released it all from their brains. If you can't do that, then it's going to be really hard to move forward in your business, okay? So I want you to write every single idea for a course, membership, group program, everything. Nothing's off the table. We're going to write all of these into a bank of ideas that we have so we can clear our minds and make the next decision for our business, okay? You guys good so far? Everything's making sense? I know, Zeldy. It's such a simple tip, but I find so many people bouncing around on ideas and they don't write them down. So they constantly, it's like their brain keeps thinking they need to cycle back and remember it. Oh, I don't want to forget that. I don't want to forget that. So they actually never move forward in their business. So this works for everything, not just for your courses. You can take that and run with it in all the things that you do. You want to always write all your ideas down, have a bank of ideas so that you can actually focus on what you need to get done. Okay, so let's talk about what it looks like to get specific. I want to give you some really clear examples so you can see again what it looks like. I could either create a course membership or program that says I want to teach weight loss for women, or, and there's different ways that this looks like, okay? So when I talk about the specific HIT test and how we're gonna get really specific in it, there's a few different ways of how this looks. There's getting specific by the people that we help. So drop people. I want you guys to hear me. There's different ways that we can get specific. So just like niching is not a one and done. There's not just one right way to do this. So I'm gonna teach you how we get specific. Option number 1 is people. Drop people or one in the comments so that you guys hear me out on this. So an example of how we leverage people as our specificity for our course topic is weight loss for women. Or I could create an offer that says the step-by-step guide to losing weight for women in their 40s. See how specific I shifted that into? That's a blockbuster hit because I focused on the people that I'm serving. So I went from specificity of people, of weight loss for women, very broad range, ginormous, huge niche pool that isn't good, right? Down to the step-by-step guide to losing weight for women in their 40s. Hyper specific. That's a blockbuster hit. That's something that I'm going to sell out because I'm being very specific in the promise and in the niche solution. See how is this blowing your mind and seeing how this shift, tiny, simple, beautiful shift? So that's how we get specific by the people that we help. Option number 2, the process by which we use to solve their problems. It can be a with or without. And I'm going to give you an example. Don't worry. Number 1, so the simple broad range version is land more clients. I don't want to buy that. Super basic. Doesn't make me want to jump out of my seat and purchase it. Option number 2, land your next 5 clients using Instagram Reels. The process. I'm not just teaching you how to land more clients. I even got specific on the number of clients, but land your next 5 clients using Instagram Reels. So I utilize the process by which I'm helping solve the problem to get more specific. I niche down by the process. Okay, so drop process in the comments. Are you guys getting what I'm putting down? Drop process or 2 in the comments. I want to make sure this is sinking in for you. You guys are seeing the ways we can get specific in our niche, in our blockbuster solution. There's so many ways to do this, okay? I'm going to give you another example of the process. There's option number 1, the basic version, which is teach your kindergartner to read, okay? Or option number 2, which is teach your kindergartner to read without tears or boring phonics games. Specific. I'm getting super blockbuster niche solutioned at you by creating the specific process by which I solve the problem. So the first version was using the people, getting specific on the people I serve. The second one is the process I use to solve their problems. It can be a with or without. Yes. Good, you guys are getting it. Okay. Next one, that I'm solving a niche pain point or problem. Okay. Example, learn to cut hair. Very basic, very broad range. The more specific version is learn how to give the perfect tousled bob haircut. Super specific. The pain point or problem I'm solving is very specific. So drop pain point because that's our third option, is to get a very specific hyper niche pain point that we're solving. Not learn how to cut hair, too broad range, not going to be a blockbuster hit. Or I could create a blockbuster hit that's learn how to give the perfect tousled bob haircut. I'm being specific in the problem that I'm solving. So drop problem, pain point, whatever. So I know you guys are picking this up. That's number 3. You can drop 3 in the comments. I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but I want to make sure you guys are keeping up with me. Okay, I'm seeing pain point, pain point. Last one. Last one is a time-related niche, okay? I could either teach the boring basic guitar for beginners, or I could create a blockbuster solution, which is learn to play the guitar in 2 weeks or less. I'm using a time-related niche. That's number 3. Are you guys starting to see how the specificity of my Blockbuster hit is really important for a sold out offer? The more specific I get, the more people are going to come running. Okay? Making sure you guys are keeping up with me. So worksheet question number 1, just to kind of go through and make sure you have everything. Your one-to-many Blockbuster topic is something that addresses a specific problem that people are aware of. Specific, aware. Okay? Give me a thumbs up. I want to make sure you guys are getting this all. It's all making sense to you guys. And now I'm going to tell you what that Blockbuster hit test looks like. You guys are so quiet today. I hope I'm not like breaking your brains right now. It's also a good excuse for me to stop and take a drink of water. So here's what the Blockbuster hit test looks like. Actually, I'm going to do a super quick recap of the different Blockbuster niche solution options so that you can see how that looks. So it was utilizing people was number 1, and I'll have Zeldy pop these in. Number 1 is getting specific with people. Number 2 is getting specific with the process. Number 3 is getting specific with the pain point. Number 4 is getting specific by the time. Okay? Hopefully you guys are all getting this. So let's talk about that Blockbuster hit test again. What does it mean for me to make sure you can literally do this with any time you're launching a one-to-many offer of any kind? You can run this Blockbuster hit test. It's, are people talking about it? You need to be able to answer that question. So number 1 on the Blockbuster hit test is, are people talking about it? Okay? Is it something that if I did some social listening and market research, people would be talking about it? Drop talk in the comments so I know you guys are keeping up with me. Okay? Or an emoji. I just want to make sure you guys are keeping up. Number 2 on the Blockbuster hit test is, are people aware of the problem? Nobody wants to be spending tons of time educating them on the problem, because that's going to make it really hard for us to convert them into clients. So are they aware of the problem? Thanks, LD, for doing a recap. Are they ready to solve the problem? Are they seeking a solution? Okay? People, all of you who joined this workshop were because you were seeking a solution to the problem, which is growing and scaling your business without trading time for money. Again, you might not have said traded time for money. You're looking for an easier way to grow and scale your business. So I want to know that, are people actually aware of the problem, and are they ready to solve that problem? Like, they're seeking a solution. They're going out into the world and saying, I want to fix this problem. So drop seek. I want to make sure you guys realize, because when they're seeking a problem, they're going to want someone to fix it for them. And that's when you get to come in and be the knight in shining armor and fix it. That's what it looks like to pass the Blockbuster hit test. Okay? So your mission today is to figure out what your Blockbuster one-to-many topic would be. What's something that's specific and passes the Blockbuster test that gets people to say, oh my gosh, yes, I want this, okay? Because this is the exact stuff that my client who came to me, who was struggling, she was working one-on-one and she was doing okay, and she created a course, but it didn't sell to anyone. And what we did is we got really specific on the problem she solved, the big promise that she gave, and the framework by which she got there. And she went from selling none of her courses, none of her hybrid courses at all, to having an $18,000 launch with a tiny, tiny audience, guys. I think she had 640 something people in her audience, okay? It's important to recognize that creating a Blockbuster hit really does come down to you having these pieces in there, okay? And I don't want you to create a course or at least have that idea and then feel frustrated because no one comes running to purchase it. We all want to create that Blockbuster hit. So again, I'm going to come at you with my offer again. If you are ready to create a solution that actually has people begging and wanting more, I want you to drop pathway call in the comments, because you made a commitment to stop making excuses and to start making moves, and I want to support you in that decision. I want to show you how it's all possible and how creating your one-to-many offer is the solution to building a scalable business model that works with your time, that allows you to create massive transformation and shifts for people, okay? So drop pathway call if you're ready to see what this looks like in your business. What we'll do is we'll take a look at your current business model. We'll look at where those gaps and opportunities are and how a one-to-many offer comes into play to help you solve that problem. I have a specific program called the Lucrative Group Formula that actually helps you build, launch, and scale a one-to-many offer within 90 days, guys. So it's a group program. I'm spilling the deets here for you guys. It's a 90-day group program where I help you not only build the program, and I mean build it from scratch, or if you already have something that you want to transition it into a powerful blockbuster hit, I help you learn how to build that from scratch, how to create the tech, how to create the back end, all those little pieces that are required to create a blockbuster sold out offer. And then I teach you how to launch it, how to actually take that idea to market and create that launch that actually brings people in screaming, yes, I want this. How showcases your authority in a massive, huge way so that people are ready for you. And then I teach you how to take that and scale it. Because it's not just about creating one piece of the puzzle. You're tired of doing that. You're tired of being taught little pieces here and there and never feeling like you have all the pieces put together so that you can create a scalable business model. This is your answer to scaling a business. It's called the Lucrative Group Formula. So I teach you how to create a one-to-many offer, build it straight from scratch. I teach you how to launch that one-to-many offer and how to create a scalable business model that leverages the power of one-to-many offers. So this is for those who are ready to grow and scale their business. They're tired of sitting on the sidelines. They want the step-by-step process, the hand-holding, the everything that goes into it to building and launching their first or next one-to-many offer that has people running into it, okay? So if you're interested on hopping on a pathway call, drop pathway. You can DM me if you don't feel comfortable dropping it here. DM me and we can chat more about what this looks like. But I'm telling you guys, this is the game changer your business needs. My clients joke that the Lucrative Group Formula is like getting an MBA in business and marketing and scaling their business without having all these different pieces that they didn't know they needed. Okay? I make it a total simple process for you to get from point A to point B with everything that you could possibly need, from templates and systems and processes and the actual know-how and guest experts that will blow your mind. Okay? So definitely drop pathway call or Lucrative Group Formula if you want to know more about this. What is your success rate and number of successful client launches on this 90-day business? Great question, Ashley. I've had clients who have literally, everyone walks away with their done program, okay? So there has not been one client of mine who hasn't completed this and walked away with a viable offer that's ready to launch. I've had clients who have walked away with a 5K launch, a 32K launch, a 19K launch. So there's a lot of variables that go into it, but all of my clients walk away with a totally done offer with the entire launch plan and scalable offer and opportunities for what they can do. Great question. Any other questions about today's training or about the Lucrative Group Formula or anything else that I can answer for you? These are great questions that are coming. And again, if you guys don't feel comfortable having these conversations in the chat, shoot me a DM, okay? I can drop the link in here for you actually to DM me directly if you want to. But I'm telling you, I've helped countless clients create a scalable business model. And my clients, I've had clients who call me the Mary Poppins of business strategy because 18 years of marketing has taught me that nothing happens by chance and nobody builds a business model that isn't structured around them. So I help you leverage your natural sales and marketing skills to build your own customized plan. Nothing we do is cookie cutter. Even the process by which I take you through is completely customized to you because in order for you to create success on your terms, you need to have all the pieces that work for you. So let me know in the comments, do you have any questions about the blockbuster niche solution? Are you guys understanding how we create a blockbuster niche solution for the problem that we want to solve? Let me know if you have questions about hopping on a pathway call or about Lucrative Group Formula. Tomorrow, we're going to talk all about how to create ready-to-act buyers, people who are chomping at the bit and ready to say yes. I'm going to teach you exactly what that looks like. And then on day 4, I'm going to teach you exactly what it looks like to have those 5-figure launches, no holds bar. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm glad you're liking it, Jolene. Let me know if you guys have any questions at all. If not, I'll see you back same place, same time, 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I can share with you what it looks like to create those ready-to-act buyers who are ready to take action and want what you have. And don't forget, there's going to be a homework thread where you can jump in and respond. Again, I want you to stay active. I want you to walk away with the Blockbuster hit solution. But again, any questions, let me know, and I look forward to chatting with you guys tomorrow.